So the Giants were ranked 29th. And this to me is just typical national media.
Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's up, YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you want more sports content. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you hit that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. I saw ESPN's NFL future rankings, and I'm pretty much going to break down from my point of view why they got this wrong, what they got right, and I'm going to examine this from the NFC East point of view. So guys, if you know, there are 3 teams in the NFC East. One team is, just pay your respects. One team is pretty much, it's gone, and they're really not a non-factor. I don't know where they rank on the list, but as far as I'm concerned, there's 3 teams in the NFC East, and that's the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. So, surprise, surprise, the Cowboys are ranked at number 5. So thoughts about that. The Cowboys are consistently overrated. So are the Eagles. Every year the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders, deep playoff run contenders because their rosters are always so good. But let me go ahead and give them an unbiased take to this. The Cowboys have a lot of young talent. They just took CeeDee Lamb. They got Michael Gallup. Amari Cooper is getting overpaid, but he's there. So those are 3 dangerous receivers who could arguably be number 1s on any other team. You have Zeke there. You have Dak, who's hitting pretty much his prime soon. And you have Mike McCarthy there, who if he can just not mess it up, pretty much like he did with Aaron Rodgers, the Cowboys should be a competitive team in the future. So this ranking, as far as just talent, I mean, you have, just like I said on the offensive side, you have Jalen Smith, you have the Flying Dutchman. Is that what they call him? For some reason I can't remember his name, but he's a beast, that other inside linebacker. You just had to get rid of Byron Jones, but you got Tank Lawrence. So the Cowboys are in a good spot as far as young players going forward. But some things to check out when you're ranking them this high is Dak's contract is a mess right now. The salary cap is probably going to drop $40 million next year. So I don't know how you're going to pay him. The offensive line is getting older and older. Tyron Smith is a veteran. He's a serious veteran, and he's getting close to the back 9 of his career. Same thing with pretty much the rest of them. The offensive line is aging. So that's something to pay attention to as far as Dallas moving forward. But for them to be ranked at number 5, I pretty much don't have that much of a problem with them being at number 5 as far as just because of their talent level. Does that mean that they're actually going to be good and it will translate to wins? Time will tell. The Cowboys have been a mess for years. And by the way, another con. Jerry Jones is still the owner, and he's liable to say something that is going to piss his players off and make them not even want to play for him. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but I mean, the guy goes crazy. Next up, the Eagles ranked at number 6. So this is very confusing to me. It's like I said, every year the Cowboys and Eagles are ranked so high. The Cowboys are overflowing with talent. The Eagles, the defensive line is really good. The secondary, not so good. Receivers, you have a lot of receivers that do the same thing. The jury's out on Jalen Reagor. The jury's out on Carson Wentz, if you want to be honest. Carson Wentz got paid, but Carson Wentz has not even been able to play a full playoff game. He's injured all the time. And when he has time to show up in a big game, he doesn't show up. So this is a big question mark for the Eagles. Their offensive line is good. They have Miles Sanders, a good young running back. But again, your offensive line is so good, and Miles Sanders is there, and that's good. But we don't really know how good Miles Sanders is going to be going into the future. He's not a guy that changes things. You have a good coach. Doug Peterson, I believe, is a pretty good coach, and I think he'll be there for a while. But just that thing with Wentz, jeopardizes why I think they should not be ranked this high. I think the Eagles should be top 12, but number 6 is a little too high for me. And this is just my unbiased opinion. Like, this is completely unbiased. And maybe it's impossible for me because I can't stand the Eagles, but I just don't see why they should be ranked this high. I can understand the Cowboys, but the Eagles still coming around on that. So the Giants were ranked 29th. And this to me is just typical national media. When they're covering the Giants, when they're covering any New York sports team, it's always just something ridiculous. 29th overall out of 32 teams. Like, are you kidding me? For the future, you have Saquon Barkley on the team. You have Evan Ingram on the team. You have Daniel Jones coming off of a rookie year where he led all rookies in touchdowns and pretty much should have thrown 34 or 35 if he played the whole year. This is his second year, and he's only going to continue to get better. You have a defensive line that Pro Football Focus just loves. Leonard Williams was first in quarterback hits last year, 8th in pressures the second half of last year. You have Dexter Lawrence, who was a force in the pass and the run last year, and Dalvin Tomlinson, all on the same line, lined up next to each other. All we need is a pass rusher. We're a pass rusher away from being a serious problem. If you also want to look at the other young pieces we have, Darius Slayton, a 5th round pick. I think 800 yards, or I don't remember exactly how many yards he had, but it was in the 700s or 800s. He had 8 touchdowns, and he didn't play the whole season either as a featured starting receiver. Will Hernandez. You have Andrew Thomas, who pretty much the consensus for the entire last college season, before everything started getting all hazy, was that he was the best offensive tackle in the draft. So seeing all these building pieces going to the future, I can see you ranking them right now because they're unproven. But going into the future, this team is stacked. You have Xavier McKinney there too, Jabril Peppers. You had DeAndre Baker. We don't know how that's going to turn out. But going into the future, the only doubts for the Giants are that our young players are unproven, and Joe Judge is unproven, and Dave Gettleman is horrible in free agency and trades. But as far as building a team and drafting, this team looks like they're headed in a really good direction. So to be 29th to me is ridiculous, and it doesn't make any sense. So pretty much all 3 of these teams are 5th, 6th, 29th, and the people really think that the Giants are 24, 23 worse spots in the NFL than the Cowboys and Eagles, when in reality these teams will probably all finish with similar records. But that's just my 2 cents. Let me know, first of all, who's going to win the division this year? What is their record going to be? Is this going to be a 10-6 year? Is this going to be a year where 2 teams make it out? Let me know. I, for one, think the Cowboys have the best roster, but I think that the Giants are going to have a chance because this is the NFC East, and Daniel Jones is going to play a full season, and Saquon Barkley will be healthy. And that's all you need is a running game and a quarterback. The rest will fall into place. But that's just what I think. Let me know. Diggy546. I'm out.